In this video, I'm going to show you how to use the free version of the Read and Write for Google Chrome toolbar. So I've already customized my toolbar, and so when I'm out on a website, how I access the toolbar is by locating the little purple puzzle piece up in the right hand corner next to the web address bar, and click it, and then you'll see it brings up my tools. Now I can move this anywhere I want, so depending on if the student's trying to look at pictures or you need to move it out of the way, you can move it around, okay? So this first button that's on the toolbar is called hover speech. So when I turn that on, any text that I hover over it will read.
When and why was Theodore Roosevelt National Park established? Theodore Roosevelt National Memorial Park was established in 1947 in honor of Theodore Roosevelt.
So that is one way that I can use the toolbar to read text on a screen. The next way is if I turn off hover speech, you'll see that my play button relights up. So the next way is I can highlight text and click the play button.
Theodore Roosevelt National Memorial Park was established.
And it will continue to read until it gets through the paragraph, or you'll see when I hit pause, it will pause and stop in the middle but save the place that I want to leave off reading, and then I push pause again to start reading.
Established in 1947 in honor of Theodore Roosevelt. Roosevelt.
Now you'll see when I click the stop button, it will just stop reading. It doesn't recall the place where you left off like the pause button does, so depending on what your student's using it for, you might want to show them that if they're stopping to write something down and want to pick back up, they might want to use the pause button. But if they're stopping altogether, they can use that stop button. So those are the main reading tools of the Read and Write for Google Chrome toolbar. This last button on here is a translate button. So if I highlight a word, I can click the translate button and it will translate into the selected language I have, and right now I have Spanish selected. So, and if I click the little triangle next to the word, it will read it. So those are the buttons for the free version of the Read and Write for Google Chrome toolbar out on the web. Now, when I go to a Google Doc, it looks a little bit different. You'll see that the hover speech isn't there. All I have is the play, pause, and stop button. And that's just because out on websites they made it that way, because usually a lot of people are just wanting to listen to text on a website, so you don't have to do so much going back and forth from the toolbar. But on this one, you just place the cursor where you want it to start reading in a Google Doc, and you push the play button.
Roosevelt National Parks is in western North Dakota.
Now it will continue to read until it gets to the end of the text, or as you saw, I pushed the pause button, so it will pause. And then if I push the stop button, it will just stop altogether and go back to the beginning from where I started reading the text. Again, I have the translate button, the same as in the web reader. If I highlight a word and I click translate, it will translate that word into the language that I have selected. So this is how the free version of the Read and Write for Google Chrome toolbar works in a Google Doc and out on the web.